Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at Aurora Cannabis and three other cannabis sector stocks that are looking to uplist to major exchanges. Okay, so the news came out on Friday that they did file their Form 40F, which is they're registered now to list on the New York Stock Exchange. So that's going to be big news. Back when, and this is ticker symbol ACBFF, when Cannabis Growth and Cronus Group and Tilray, they're the three that have uplisted before, and so that trade on the Nasdaq, and so that's huge news for the cannabis sector. We've got another one following here with ALEAF. They filed a Form 40F, and they intend to trade on the Nasdaq. And then you have APHQF and CANTTF, which are set up to, which everybody's speculating that they're going to list on major U.S. exchanges as well. Okay, so that's big news. These are the ones that you want to be following. Well, first up, we're going to look at Aurora Cannabis, and you can see here it closed up 4%. Keep in mind there was a run up on Cannabis Growth when they had their uplisting, and then there was actually a 6% sell off after the date. So that they pulled it back, and then they loaded, and then they took it running after that. So keep that in mind. We do have Aurora Cannabis here. It is in the bull zone on our side at 65, so there is room to run until that, before it traded above 70. Right now, the big thing is this $10 resistance level. So you had a close on Friday above the high close resistance level. That was the closing price here on the 25th. That's the bottom of this black candle, and so you can see it closed just above that level. So that does signal more upside potential. In the sideways channel, that was the high close resistance level to break, and so the close on Friday is signaling that ACBFF wants to head higher. Now it's going to need to break above 10. That's the next key level, and then the high here, which is just below 1050, right around 1048, that's going to be the next level. But if it can get above 10 on Monday, that would be really bullish. Now to the downside, it needs to hold this EMA 13 at 917. If that level broke, it could come down here and test the middle Bollinger Band at 859. Now let's take a look here at the 15-minute chart for ACBFF, and you can see the news came out here on Friday at the last hour of the trading day, and you could see it really took off with big volume as word spread that they were uplisting to the New York Stock Exchange. The news finally came out. Everybody was knew that that this was in the works, but it was finally confirmed. You could see there was a close above the high close horizontal resistance level from the 3rd, and so this was the highest close since back here on the 10th, and so now that's going to be the big level to break, this $10 high close level from October 10th. And once again, if it can break above 10, that should be the signal that it wants to head higher. If it stalls out at 10, it would just be filling the jar back to that level, and it could consolidate. Now if we look at ACBFF here, this is a daily chart that we've been working on. This is showing you where it is could be headed here on a break above 10. So you could see the consolidation here, and then the white candle on Friday closed above the red line. This red line right here was the key level to break, and so the close above this line was signaling more upside potential. Now if it can get above 10, it could run up over into this January resistance zone. This is what we're looking to break, and then it's all about this $11 to $12 level. $12 was the high close from back here on January the 23rd, and that's going to be the ultimate target. We're looking for it heading back up to that level, and then it's going to have to break above 12 to head higher. It should, on this news, be able to fill the jar back to that level. Now if for some reason they sell off, a drop below 917, that is going to be your red flag, and like I said, it has to hold that middle Bollinger Band to keep the uptrend going. Okay, let's look at ALEAF. Okay, this is ALEAF Health, ticker symbol ALEAF, and yeah, this has been consolidating this last week. Last week it consolidated after making a big run, and so it's looking interesting here on this pullback. You have RSI now below 70. Fasto, you could see it had a monster run. I mean, look how long it was able to stay above 70. I mean, look at this prolonged run from back here. Yeah, this was a really good one from down here at 60 cents all the way up to $3. It retraced back. It has a descending resistance pattern going right now, and so it's going to need to break above EMA 4 at 237. If it can close above that level, that should be the signal that it finally wants to head higher. Every single one of these candles here, except for this candle closed right at that level, they're all below that pink line, and so once it closes above, that should be the signal that they're ready for it to push higher. Now it has to close above the high close level from this white candle candle here, and then it's going to be all about breaking this 310 resistance zone. Okay, this looks like about 309 was the high close here from the 25th, and that is the ultimate big level to break. Now to the downside, if it broke below EMA 13 here at 219, the middle Bollinger Band at 190 would be on deck. That would be a really good reload zone if you missed this big level. You know, if the middle Bollinger Band held and it bounced off that level, the uptrend should continue. And the middle Bollinger Band is the bottom of the bullish upper Bollinger Band channel. Okay, so whenever you can load off that level, that is the good low entry point if support does hold. Now if it doesn't break down to that level, EMA 13 is the reload zone if the support holds. Okay, so let's look here at ALEAF on the weekly chart, and you could see the monster move that it made. Look at it. It got above 50 cents down here. This candle right here was the one, the third week of or the second week here of August that closed above that 50-week moving average after being above the middle Bollinger Band. That was your clue that this was bullish and in play. It broke above the high close here at 110. That signaled more upside, and then now last week's candle is floating above the upper Bollinger Band. A red candle formed last week, but not a bearish reversal pattern. So the candles are working their way back into the bands here. What it's going to be all about holding EMA 4 at 197. As long as that level holds, it should keep pushing higher. It needs to break above this 240 high close from back here in the last week of September. If it can break above that level, then you're looking for a run back up to the threes. That looks like that 360 zone is the all-time high. Check out that huge volume. It looks like they definitely locked in some shares there. Did a little bit of share selling there on that big spike up 2 weeks ago. Okay, let's look at APHQF. So APHQF here has been consolidating and pulling back, and yeah, this is another. This is a top cannabis company as well. Yeah, these are the big dogs. Look for RSI above 50 to be your clue that the chart's heating up again. Similar to over here, you can see when RSI got above 50, that's when it really got moving. So that'll be a big clue right there. Fasto is at oversold levels right now, so it's really oversold, and they really drove this thing down. Right now, it's riding EMA 4 resistance lower, the pink line. You can see here the middle Bollinger Band broke on this candle here on the 26th, and that signaled the start of a downtrend. All these candles are below that pink line. Once it closes above 1289, it can get the bounce going. It looks like it could come down here, possibly, and test this 50-day simple moving average. If EMA 4 stays resistance, that would be a nice reload zone. Okay, so if it hit that 1169 level and support held, that is always a good entry point for stocks that are pulling back. If support holds, if it dropped below, that would be extremely bearish. It could come down lower. There is some risk on the chart. There is an unfilled gap way down here, just below $9. So yeah, 1169 though, mark that down as a potential load zone for a technical bounce. And then also the other load would be on a break above 1289 above EMA 4. Okay, finally we're going to look at CANTTF. This is ticker symbol CNTTF. You could see here it consolidated. It's been in a sideways channel, and right now it's holding the middle Bollinger Band. That's currently at 929. If that level holds, that is the reload level. You can see, whenever it hits down that level, that's been the level that people have been loading off this dotted purple line. If that holds, that's the reload zone. The risk is if it breaks and it closes below that level, it could head down to this lower Bollinger Band at 840. Now to the upside, you're looking for a break above $10. Okay, so that's the high close from back here on the what is that, the 20th of September, and if it can close above $10, that should be the signal that it wants to head higher. CANTTF is another one. Okay, so CANTTF here on the weekly chart is another one that's experiencing or trying to go for the what we call a blue sky breakout. That's where it's trying to break out above all the resistance on the chart. As you can see back here, this is the all-time high from back in January, and so, or no, the all-time high I guess is right here. It broke above the all-time high. That was the all-time high in January, and then it broke above that level back in September. And so right there at just below 1050, around 1049 is the all-time high. You can see it's testing that zone right now. This close, not this week, but the week before, was the all-time high high weekly close. And so what you're looking for is for this pink line, EMA4 at 917 to keep holding, and for it to keep making new high closes. As long as it keeps making new high closes in the chart, that's a signal that it wants to keep pushing higher. The weekly close above this January high close on this candle right here in September, that was your clue that it wants to keep pushing higher. Now it needs to stay above that level. If it dropped below, that's where it could consolidate. To the upside, once it gets above this 250 level, there's no overhead resistance. It's never traded on this level before, traded at these levels. The stock just started trading back in August of 2017, and so that's what would be a blue sky breakout. No overhead resistance. You'd have to use the intraday charts to find the resistance levels. Okay, the next marijuana sector video, I'll cover CV, SI, and MM, and FF. I'm keeping the videos now to 4 stocks per video. Okay, thanks for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, come check out our chat. And so keep in mind that all the stocks that were just in this video are stocks that are looking to uplist to major stock exchanges. Okay, thank you so much.